New research suggests dogs aren't just man's best friend.
The furry pals could help you live longer. Scientists in Sweden followed more than 3 million adults for 12 years. They found dog owners had a lower risk of death from cardiovascular disease or other causes. Dog ownership was especially beneficial for people living alone.
Another reason for me to keep Flower Girl.
There you go.
All righty, now here's David and Cindy with a look at what's coming up at 6.
Thanks, Latrice. An emergency drill in Bradley County.
I think that now we're better prepared than we were.
First responders spent the day preparing for the worst. Plus,
it's scary. It's just a scary situation. It's probably every superintendent's nightmare.
A suspicious device found at Polk County High School. We'll tell you what was inside that box.
and a heartfelt story about how Central lost a playoff game but won the day. Sports Director Paul Shaheen has the story.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
Bradley County first responders are preparing for potential hazmat situations with emergency drills. You'll remember back in September they responded to an explosion at the Vocker Chemi plant in Charleston.
And while that wasn't the reason behind today's drill, crews practiced 2 scenarios at the nearby Olin plant. Our Cameron Taylor walks us through the event.
This is a drill.
A drill to stop a chemical leak and rescue a worker at the Olin plant. Emergency crews from across Bradley County gathered to map out their plan.
We're going to contain the leak first, and then we'll set it into our confined space.
You see some of the first responders wearing an orange vest. Those are the safety officers who make sure crews are following all procedures. They also set up a command post to relay information.
And the purpose of these drills is to find those small deficiencies that we can tweak and make it better, make that response better.
This is an exercise notification.
That's one of the ways the county's Office of Emergency Management is trying to reach more people. Jerry Johnson is the operations officer and says he learned many neighbors near the plants have more landlines than cell phones. They also sent out a text message while schools in the area practiced a shelter-in-place response.
Located over here, I believe, where security had taken us.
The drill is not in response to the explosion at Vocker from September. Johnson mentioned members from the plant's fire department were there to evaluate their procedures. By law, he says chemical plants like Olin have to conduct training exercises each year. It helps crews prepare and coordinate for when a real emergency happens.
We don't come up here and our guys don't see their guys work, their guys don't see our guys work. When we show up, it's kind of a mess, but because we do this every year, our guys get integrated in their team, their guys get integrated in our teams, and they work seamlessly.
To close out the call, they would decontaminate the site and send anyone who needs medical treatment to the hospital. We're told around 25,000 people have signed up for the emergency alert system. That's about a fourth of the county's population. You can still sign up too. Those details are on our website, WRCBTV.com, and inside the WRCB app. Reporting in Charleston, Cameron Taylor, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Olin's plant manager issued a statement following today's drill. He says it helps prepare the company and informs the community if something were to happen. And as of right now, Vocker Chemi says their investigation into the root cause of the September 7th explosion is well underway. The plant remains closed until a thorough inspection is completed and officials are certain the facility is safe.
In Polk County, officers are working to figure out who left a suspicious device inside a boys' restroom at Polk County High School. This all happened this morning, caused a lot of commotion, and Kate Smith joins us in the studio with more. Kate?
David, after getting a call from the principal, Polk County Superintendent Dr. James Jones ordered the students to get out and as far away as possible. This is what the device was found inside the boys' bathroom at Polk County looked like, prompting an immediate evacuation to the football field. The sheriff's office and a bomb squad from Chattanooga and Cleveland swept the school before giving the all clear. Class was canceled for the day and the school remained open until all students were picked up.
It was a fake attempt at a bomb. There was nothing on the inside. It's just a box, just to look like an attempt to scare people.
It is still unclear who left the suspicious device in the bathroom, but Dr. Jones plans to find out. He says he plans to contact the school's attorney and the sheriff's office to press charges. It is still too early to tell what those charges will be. For For now, I'm live in the studio. Kate Smith, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Kate, thank you. The relationship between Senator Bob Corker and President Donald Trump has made headlines over the last couple of months. Although Corker is not seeking re-election, some lawmakers say they hope the two can settle their differences. Representative Chuck Fleischman stopped by the Channel 3 studio today. We talked to him about the very public feud between the president and Senator Corker, and Fleischman tells us it's part of the job.
I like both gentlemen. I respect both gentlemen. Sometimes we have friends who have disagreements. That doesn't mean you allow your friendship or relationship with either one of them to erode.
Fleischman tells us his focus is now to help pass a tax reform bill. We'll have more about the representative on our website.
Tennessee Highway Patrol officers are warning drivers it's that time of year. You need to be on the lookout for deer on or near the road. The THP says deer-related wrecks tend to rise in November and December because of deer mating and hunting seasons. About 1,600 such crashes occur on Tennessee roadways this time of year, and research shows that crashes may be down this year due to crops like fruits and berries. The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency report deer and even bears may stay away from the road because last year's mild winter left more food and more time to eat. Still ahead, Ice on the Landing returns to the Scenic City. How the event is helping local business owners this season. Plus,
it's our final Friday night football show of the season, and I have a special game for you tonight. It's South Pittsburgh hosting Whitwell in the 1A quarterfinals. I'll have a preview of this cross-county showdown when we come back.
Winds will pick up for tomorrow. The warm temperatures will stick around too, and then some big changes coming in for tomorrow night and Sunday. All the details on my 7-day forecast.
With coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
A lot of teams are still playing this late in the season, and we have one of the best games of the week coming up tonight.
Oh, it's a good one. One of many, but this one getting some special attention because it's happening with two Marion County teams. South Pittsburgh and Whitwell going head-to-head with a spot in the single-A semifinals on the line. Let me tell you, you want to see some people get excited about football, just head over to this game, like Jill Jelnick did. How's it going, Jill?
Hey, David. Hey, Cindy. These two teams are no stranger to one another. Whitwell and South Pittsburgh have been playing each other for years, but this time there's a lot more than just bragging rights at stake tonight. If, as you mentioned, the winner of tonight's game moves on to the 1A semifinals, and well, that would be huge for both of these programs. If Whitwell wins tonight, it would mark just their second semifinal appearance in school history. And well, if the Pirates win tonight, it would would mark their second straight trip to the semifinals, as well as a chance at their 12th championship appearance. Now, it's important to note the recent history between these two teams. South Pitt and Whitwell played just last month when the region championship was on the line. And well, it was about as close as it could get. South Pitt led by 1 score going into the final minute of the game. Whitwell then put together a late rally with a chance to tie it at the end, but the Pirates deflected a last-second pass, holding on for the 21-14 win. Now that loss marked Whitwell's first and only loss this season. The Tigers are 11-1 right now, while South Pittsburgh is still undefeated at 12-0. So that kind of gives you an idea of the tension and the excitement that surrounds this game tonight. I'm told it's standing room only, just like last time, and it should be, well, Bean Stadium's biggest crowd in school history. I'll have more coming up later in sports, but for now, live at South Pittsburgh, Jill Jelnick, Channel 3 Eyewitness Sports.
Jill, thank you. Ice on the Landing officially opened just minutes ago at the top of the hour.
And as you see, already skaters on the ice, and in a moment you'll see why business owners say this can bring more money to South Chattanooga and help local charities as well. And yes, I hate to say this, but the weather's going to change. A powerful cold front heading our way this weekend, and some moisture. What else is going on? Paul Barris will tell you in his full forecast.
Coming up Monday morning on Eyewitness News Today, we have a heartwarming story for you.
And a helpful story. A young man named Corey Lee from Fayette has mobility issues, but that's not stopping him from traveling the world. He's also started a website and a blog to help other people with accessibility issues get out and explore this beautiful place.
We look forward to meeting him. We'll see you Monday morning.
Happening right now, the Ice on the Landing is officially open for the 2017 season. Live look at the ice rink, and it's already become a popular attraction.
Great scene there at the Choo Choo. Isn't that a beautiful picture?
It is.
You know, Ice on the Landing used to be on Ross's Landing, but moved last year, and folks seem to like that location, so they're back.
It's working well for them. Channel 3's Tim Pham tells us how the attraction supports a growing part of town.
This is the second year Ice on the Landing will return to the Chattanooga Choo Choo. It attracted thousands of ice skaters last year, and it made a big impact for local businesses on the south side.
Business is brewing at Frothy Monkey. They're preparing for a busy season on the south side of downtown.
Can I get a runner at bar?
Though it's called Ice on the Landing, it's now located here in the gardens at the Choo Choo. Chattanooga Presents says city requirements changed, forcing them to move.
The landing was fine, but it's so big down there and so open. It didn't look nearly as big as it looks here.
and it's drawn in large crowds. Chattanooga Presents says some 30,000 people attended last year at the Choo Choo, and they expect even more this season.
I noticed when it came to the new location, there's been a lot more people participating and a lot more people coming.
We visited businesses on the south side, and many say they're extending hours and adding more staff to meet demand.
We've already had a little bit of waves from some people that are coming in for the holiday decorations and stuff.
It's good for the local economy and the revitalization of downtown.
Not just for the entertainment value, but look at all the apartments and housing that's going up in the south side. It's just the most exciting part of town now.
Every Wednesday, 20% of the proceeds from Ice on the Landing go to help local charities. On December 6th, you can help out Channel 3 Share Your Christmas and the Chattanooga Area Food Bank. Reporting in Chattanooga, Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
That's a good job, Tim, but we're having sort of a little battle of the skating stars here at Channel 3. Reporter Casey Freeman was on live at 5 about an hour ago, and look at those moves, spinning for the camera on live television. She didn't fall, so Cindy and I gave her a 10.
We sure did. Showed out and showed off and showed out, Tim. How does that go? She showed up, Tim Pham. Yes.
She did great. Came back to the newsroom, got a standing O.
Yes.
We're just proud of her.
But
and
he
proud
didn't
of,
fall.
Proud of Tim, too. That's right. But Casey tells us she's had a little experience, so that explains that. Now, tickets for Ice on the Landing are $10 for adults, $8 for kids. You can buy a single-use pass or a season pass for $100. It just goes often as you want. We have all the details on our website.
Now it's time to check in with Chief Meteorologist Paul Barris. A nice day out there now, even out on the ice, but ooh, changes are coming, huh, Paul?
Yeah, for Casey, they ain't bragging if you can do it, right? That's right. All right. And the jet stream today buckled up a little north of us. I brought the warmer area in, but it's going to be a big change coming up for Thanksgiving. Big buckle down to the south of us, all the way to South Florida, so some much colder air is going to be moving our way at the end of next week. We're looking at the radar right now. There are a few sprinkles moving across western part of Kentucky, but most of our rain's going to stay north of us. It looks like now the heavier rain's up in the Midwest. 64 currently in the city, Cleveland, 63 Dalton, 62 in Murphy, and 61 Athens. Winds are out of the south-southeast at about 6. Our high today was in the mid-60s at 66. 37 the overnight low, but a lot of places away from the city got down to near freezing or even into the 20s. 65 Fort Payne. I think the coldest spot was about 29, 28 degrees up near Blue Ridge, and they had a high of 65 today. 63 LJ, 67 Chatsworth, also in Calhoun, 66 in Varnell. And then we had 69 in Trenton with 59 Signal Mountain, and 65 Soddy Daisy, 66 Lakeside, and 65 Ooltewah. Well, Cleveland hit 67. And then off to the north, we had 61 on your 10 miles, 66 in Dayton, and 60 in Riceville, while Etowah was 66, Delano 67, and Murphy at 65, and Jasper hit 69. Latest Vipercast shows strong winds coming out of the south. There are wind advisories for tomorrow all across the Tennessee Valley with those strong southerly winds. They could be up to 35 miles an hour at times with gusts. By tomorrow afternoon around 5, just as the sun's starting to go down, scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms just sweep on by. By 9 o'clock, they're almost out of here, and then overnight they're gone. By 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, the northwesterly winds will come in, the colder air will come in, but the sun's coming back too. So it'll be a lot more sunny coming up on Sunday, although it's going to be a little bit colder. Then on Monday, it looks like another fairly dry day. We're thinking about a quarter to a half inch of rain on average across the area, especially coming up late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, but Sunday again looks dry. Tonight, a few more clouds, 49 for the low. That's going to be a lot warmer than the 37 we had last night. Then tomorrow, 67. The winds will really pick up. That's the big news. And then some scattered showers too throughout the afternoon. But by tomorrow night, rain could get a little heavier, possibly a thunderstorm. Actual low 43 overnight with northwesterly winds 15 to 25. But the high should be somewhere in the early morning Sunday, probably right after midnight, 55. Then temperatures falling to near 29 by Monday morning. So hard freeze coming up with 56. And then we're looking at 59. So warming up on Tuesday. And by that big traveling day, mid-50s, no problems. And on Thursday, we're looking, that's Thanksgiving, 52. So, you know, open up the window and let some heat get out of the house and as you're cooking the bird.
As you're cooking the bird.
You
That's
just
right.
wish days like this could go on and on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, today was great.
Thank you, Paul.
Next in sports, final game notes from our game of the week.
And Paul Shaheen has a heartfelt story about an unselfish act by the Central High Purple Pounders. I love this story.
And they did it on a game day, one of the most important games they've played in more than a decade. This one is special. Central lost a playoff game last week, but managed to win the day. Don't miss this inspirational story. Straight ahead in sports. Have you ever heard a head coach say it's not the scores you remember, it's the moments you remember later in life? The Central Pounders had one of those moments last Friday. It's a heartwarming story about how an unselfish act made the night's final score all but irrelevant.
Brads will tell us all the time that the game is bigger than us.
Last Friday was just another example. Central loaded the bus, a near 3-hour drive, a second-round showdown at unbeaten Greenville. A game they would lose, but a day they would win.
We already knew Friday before we ever went to the stadium, before we ever put our helmets and pads on, before the scoreboard even started, that we had already won the day.
All because of a detour Central head coach Courtney Braswell set up ahead of time.
But they got us on the back.
Courtney's best friend, Red Bank assistant Charles Weems, is from Greenville.
Before Ashton, you're out.
His mother, Tony Weems, who loves Courtney, still lives there.
Me and Courtney had a running joke that when we played each other, who my mom was really pulling for.
In this case, all parties are pulling for Tony. Tony was recently diagnosed with a very rare form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
It broke my heart. I don't remember the last time I cried like that.
But Tony's biggest concern was if Central kept winning, she'd be unable to watch Courtney coach against Greenville.
This lady might not live to see another football season, but she thought of us.
So the Central bus, bound for Greenville, was now loaded with 4 dozen roses, a signed jersey, Tony's home address, and a few dozen young men who understand the game is bigger than them.
Each one of our kids handed her a rose, and each one of them gave her a hug. Just going to see that lady that thought of us before herself, even in the midst of all her trials that she had, it touched me. can exist in a way or live your life in a way that you make somebody else's day better or make their existence better just because you were a part of it, that's really what we're here for.
My goodness gracious.
It was just, you know, something that obviously I'm grateful for and that I'll never forget, and just provided some joy for her in a time that's been a difficult time.
It was the perfect prelude to Central's biggest game in more than a decade. And a reminder, the final score is only half the story.
Everybody certainly felt more victorious than you normally do in defeat, because we won in a lot of different ways that night.
Courtney Braswell and the Central Purple Pounders, it is safe to say they are doing way more than just winning football games. Moving on now to tonight's action. From the 4-state region, we have 12 local teams left. 2 all-local matchups, but only one could be our game of the week. It was the big one out west, Whitwell at South Pittsburgh, and that's where we find sports reporter Jill Jelnick live with our final pre-game notes from our game of the week at South Pittsburgh. Jill, the pirate ship behind you. Great setting.
I know. We thought this would be a great setup for South Pittsburgh Whitwell 2.0, Paul. These two teams played each other just last month, where it was standing room only here at Bean Stadium. And, well, the Pirates held off a furious comeback by the Tigers to win it 21-14. Now it's the rematch tonight with a lot more at stake. South Pittsburgh is no stranger to deep playoff runs, but the Whitwell Tigers are having one of their best seasons in school history. First-year head coach Randall Bolden has done a great job with the Tigers this season, but he's giving a lot of credit to the Whitwell community.
I've never seen this community this fired up about football. I've been here 12, 13 years now, and I mean, that's exciting to me, to look at our kids and look at our stands being full. That's what this is all about, and that's what I said when I got this job that I wanted to do. I wanted to bring this community together, and these kids have certainly helped us do that.
Paul, if Whitwell wins tonight, it would mark just their second time they've reached it to the semifinals in school history, whereas if the Pirates win tonight, this would mark their second straight semifinal appearance. Obviously, two very good teams tonight. It's hard to get a lot more excitement than right now here in South Pittsburgh. I'm looking forward to this game, so I'm going to grab a burger, some hot cocoa, and I'm going to enjoy this one. Of course, I'll have highlights and more tonight at 11, but for now, live at South Pittsburgh, Jill Jelnick, Channel 3 Eyewitness Sports.
Thanks, Jill. As mentioned, that's just one of 2 big-time all-local matchups. Of course, the other one is Marion County at Tyner, and whoever wins that game has a shot at playing Meigs County. A lot of local teams left, and they could do some damage. We've got plenty of games and highlights and scores tonight.
And all those teams are still playing. That's good. All right, should be a nice night out there tonight. Stay with us for Friday Night Football tonight at 11.
Red Bank's playing at home. I can smell the hot dogs from here. NBC News is next here on Channel 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Three, two. We've had a great season. We visited nearly the entire viewing area from North Georgia all the way up through upper southeast Tennessee. Let's crank it up one more time. The Trojan Band from Soddy Daisy High School, your final Band of the Week.